Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bill's RPGs and Crafts. Today's video is the final video in the how to use a fighter to make a very effective mechanically themed characters for Pathfinder. This one is going to be a mounted fighter using a lance, so a Caviler or a mounted knight. This is the most devastating and damage that you can make. The downside is you're built for horseback fighting, so when you start delving into dungeons and stuff, you're hampered because your horse can't go. That said, once you exceed the 5th level range, you can start taking feats or other themed setups for your fighter to negate that and gain you your advantages, like 2-weapon fighting or 2-handed weapons, so on and so forth, for dungeon delving. But with no further ado, let's get into this. You're a fighter, you're human. Your strength is going to be assumed to be a 16 or higher. You get +2 to 1 stat for being human, so you can apply that where you need it. The next stat you need to have really good is Dex. You want to have at least a 13 or higher Dex for this class build. You're going to be wielding a lance, 2-handed. A lance does 1d8 damage, and its crit is ×3. So if you ever roll a 20, you're going to do 3 times your damage, 3 times your strength bonus. And that'd be 3 times 1.5 your strength bonus. With strength 16, that'd be a +4 for a 2-handed weapon. So you're going to do 12 extra points of damage plus 3d8 whenever you critical. Level 1, you want to take Mounted Combat. Mounted Combat allows you to use your ride skill to negate your hits on your mount, but it only applies once per turn. So the first time your mount's hit that turn, you can make a ride check. If your ride check's better than the attack roll that hit your mount, you can negate the attack roll. The second feat you want to take is Ride by Attack. That allows you to attack your opponent and move by without provoking an attack of opportunity. After that, you want to take Spirited Charge. Spirited Charge allows you to wield a melee weapon charging an enemy and do 2 times damage. Or with a lance, you do triple damage. And this is where the damage starts escalating great, because now you're doing 3d8 plus, what do we say, +4 for a 2-handed weapon. So you're doing 3d8 plus 12 damage if you if you charge someone. Then you can add your critical to that, and now you're doing 5 times damage when you critical. So you're looking at 5d8 plus 20 damage when you hit with a lance on a critical Spirited Charge. At level 2, you want to take Trample, so your mount can knock things over, and by things I mean people, goblins, so on and so forth, and deal some damage with his hooves while you're running them down with your lance. At level 3, you want to take Power Attack. With Power Attack, you get a -1 penalty. You'll gain +3 damage with a 2-handed weapon for that. And now you're dealing out even more damage with your lance, as long as you use Power Attack every time you charge. You're at level 4, you want to take Weapon Focus Lance. With that, that'll negate your -1 Power Attack penalty. And when you're not Power Attacking, that gives you an extra 1 to hit your enemies. At level 5, you want to take Weapon Specialization Lance, which will give you +2 to damage with a lance, further boosting your damage. So if we break this down, your damage with a lance is 1d8 plus 4. Now if you charge, it is 3d8 plus 9. If you power attack and charge, it is, if you just power attack with your lance, it's 1d8 plus 7. If you power attack and charge, it's 3d8 plus 21. If you critical and charge, it is 5 times damage. So you're doing 5d8 plus 20. If you add your weapon specialization to that, that ends up being 5d8 plus 20, 5d8 plus 30. If you do power attack with all that, that becomes 5d8 plus 45 damage in 1 hit with a lance. With a critical, of course, which is only 5% chance of happening. But later on, you can take improved critical feat and get a 10% chance of critically. So with all that, you are going to deal out massive amounts of damage with a spirited charge all the time. And this is why the Caviler is the most damaging form of fighter you can make. And with those feats, you can apply them to a paladin or a ranger or whatever. It just takes you a lot longer to get up to the massive amounts of damage, because you're going to need 5 or 6 feats to get there. So that takes a minute to build outside of fighter. If anyone has any questions or comments, put them down below. This was a fun and entertaining build for me. Until we meet again, bye.